A state senator is calling for the Judiciary Commission to investigate judges who overcharge New Orleanians for weddings. Here's a follow-up to Misjudged. When we scroll through every wedding officiated by Judge Tina Anderson Trahan, we find a few couples living in New Orleans East. Their state senator, Sharon Hewitt.
Anyone that isn't following the law, there should be an investigation and perhaps consequences for doing that.
The law allows judges in New Orleans' First and Second City Court to charge $5 for a wedding at the courthouse.
Well, that's clearly a problem.
But in First City Court, judges charge $80. In Second City Court, at the Algiers Courthouse, Judge Anderson Trahan charged even more, $100.
No matter who you are, you have to follow the law. And if the law says $5, then I think you have to charge $5. So anyone that's not charging $5 is breaking the law, I would assume, in my opinion.
Hewitt wants a state commission to investigate.
I think the Judicial Commission should take a look at it.
The Judiciary Commission is an investigative board that reports and makes recommendations to the state Supreme Court. A Supreme Court spokesperson told us by email, "I would not have any knowledge of nor could confirm or deny the existence of any Judiciary Commission investigation."
It goes to the integrity of the judicial system.
Our findings outraged Tulane law professor Joel Friedman.
They are not supposed to be making money on the side for functions they perform.
If they choose to investigate, the Judiciary Commission may look at a recent question we raised. On her financial disclosure filing submitted to the Supreme Court, Judge Anderson Trahan claims she earned less than $25,000 in wedding fees. But we found out she officiated 473 weddings last year. Remember, she charged $100 a wedding. So if you do the math, it's possible she made $47,000, possibly misreporting her income to the Supreme Court.
You've pointed out a lot of maybe pieces that don't add up. The reporting on the personal financial disclosure statements, the math on that doesn't add up with the number of weddings that have been done. And if you do the math on $100 per wedding, that doesn't add up to something less than $25,000. So there's enough questions, I think, about, is the income being fairly reported in the personal financial disclosure statements? Is the income being reported and taxed? Those are all good questions, I think, to ask.
The law is clear that these city court judges cannot make more than an Orleans civil or criminal court judge. But with additional wedding income, all four have.
That's clearly a violation of the law. And that would lead one to believe then that the money collected was not intended to go to the judges, that it was intended to go to the office.
Joel Friedman thinks the judges should return the money to the court and to the couples who were overcharged.
I understand from a fairness standpoint that it feels fair for those constituents to get their money back. Exactly how you would do that, that's a legal issue, I think, that's maybe beyond my pay grade.
Hewitt thinks the legislature needs to tweak the law and says the $5 fee is likely outdated.
Perhaps we should look at, is it consistent, across all jurisdictions? So, for example, why are we charging more in Alexandria than we are in Orleans Parish? So because legislatively we did something.
But until the legislature does change something, the law is the law. And Hewitt says it's clear to her these four judges failed to follow it.
It is the law of the land, and every citizen is obligated to follow the law.
We requested interviews with all four judges. All rejected our requests. To take a closer look at all of the stories we've done in the series, go to fox8live.com/web.
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, my brothers and sisters. Good afternoon. You are listening to The Proven Truth. You're tuned into The Proven Truth with your brother and host, Anthony Brown. Coming to you live from the studios of Radio Gumbo Creole here in the beautiful territory of New Orleans, Louisiana. Good afternoon, family. It's a lovely God-given day outside. It's a lovely God-given day. It's somewhat cloudy, However, again, we appreciate our God for giving us this day. We have no complaint. We will make nor levy no complaint about God's mighty works. That's his prerogative. You are listening to The Proven Truth with your brother and host Anthony Brown. And as usual, to participate in the program, you can dial us here at 504-303-8922. You can also listen to us from the device of choice by calling 712-432-7883. You can also listen to us via the web by going to www.radiogumbocreole.net. That's radiogumbocreole.net. We live stream this and every show on the Facebook. You can check us out on the Facebook by going to Anthony Brown for Assessor 2017. That's Anthony Brown for Assessor 2017. And while you're there, family, you can utilize this platform to interact with us. You can utilize this platform however you see or deem it fit to do. You can pose a question, you can leave a comment, you can even come on the show as a live guest. Again, this platform was created not for Anthony Brown to come here, every week and spit his truth, even though that's one aspect of it. But this platform was created for John Public, for the voiceless, for the people who the mainstream media or local media don't give or allotted no time. Okay, so we create this platform for our purpose, for our needs, so that we can vent, we can have a dialogue, we can share what's on our mind with our brothers and sisters. We can speak about the political, social, religious, or whatever issue it is. We can speak about it on this platform and share our opinion with others. So we encourage you to utilize this platform to your benefit. You can also check us out on the YouTube. You can also check us out on the YouTube by going to the THE Proven Truth, The Proven Truth. And while you're there, you can show some love. Subscribe to the channel. You will. And if there's any episode that you miss, if there's any show that you miss, because for whatever reason, you can scroll through that YouTube channel and you can see previous shows that was done. Okay? Again, family, welcome. We love the fact that you take some time out of your Saturday to spend some time with us, to show some love. We love and respect you for doing that. Okay? We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our prosperity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Who is your daddy? Who is your daddy? We're talking about, for those of you who are new to the program, for those of you who first time listening to us or viewing us, when we speak about the United States Constitution, we refer to it as who is your daddy, for the main purpose that without the United States Constitution, no other territory within the Union would have a constitution for that particular territory. It's because of the United States Constitution. Every single other constitution within the Union is based off the United States Constitution, and it must. The United States Constitution, Article 6, talks about the supremacy clause. The United States Constitution is who is your daddy. That's where that come from. Who is your daddy? Because without this document, the territory of Louisiana would not have a constitution for itself. The territory of California, the territory of New York, territory of New Jersey, Connecticut, all those other territories would not have their own constitution if it wasn't for who is your daddy. You follow me? And for those of you who don't get it, check back later. We'll break it down some more. Okay? Okay, let's move on. All governments of right originate with the people, is founded on their will alone, and is instituted to protect the rights of the individual and for the good of the whole. Its only legitimate ends are to secure justice. Its only legitimate ends are to secure justice for all, preserve peace, protect the rights, and promote the happiness and general welfare of the masses. Now, here in the territory of Louisiana, you can find this statement in Article 1, Section 1 of the Louisiana Constitution. And what this statement, or what this section talks about or teaches, is the origin and purpose of government. The origin and purpose of government. Who is your offspring? Okay? If the United States Constitution is who is your daddy, hence the Louisiana Constitution, who is your offspring. You follow me? Let's get cracking. Ambition is the desire to go forward and improves one's condition. It is a burning flame that lights up the life of the individual and make him see himself in another state. To be ambitious is to be great in mind and soul. Marcus Mosiah Garvey, our ancestor, our teacher, our black brother. Brothers and sisters, you know, we here at Radio Gumbo Creole, we here at The Proven Truth, we are black conscious, not black ignorant. We are black conscious, not black ignorant. And it is with that consciousness that we make reference to our ancestors. It is with that consciousness that we recognize our ancestors for their sacrifice, for the work that they did while they were here walking Mother Earth, while they were here amongst the living. We respect and honor them. We make reference to them on a day-to-day basis because what they did in the time or during the time that they did it was nothing less or short of miraculous. These ancestors took a stand when or in a time that the stand that they take in that time was basically to sign their death warrant. When you look back in the early 20th century, in the early 1900s, in the 16, 17, 1800s, and you recognize what was going on not only here in North America but all over the world, between North America, the continent of Africa, and up into Europe, back over into Australia. When you look at what was happening globally, when it comes to the slave trade or black people, you would have to recognize the fact that to speak or to take certain action during that time against white supremacy, against equal rights and justice, or for equal rights and justice, against white supremacy, it would be like signing a death warrant. But here it is, we got our ancestors, these black men and women that didn't only love their self, but loved the black massive so much that they took up onto their self the responsibility to not only speak, but to act. And that is the underlying difference right there, my brothers and sisters. Anybody can open their mouth and make a sentence or speak about any given issue. Anybody can do that. My 2-year-old son can do that. He can say dada, 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 dada. You know, anybody can speak. You know, away from those of us who unfortunately, lose that gift or that sense. But to speak is cheap, as my grandparents would say. To speak is cheap. It don't cost you nothing to speak. But to actually take a stand, to actually act, not only to speak, but to back up that verbiage with action is a whole totally different plateau, my brothers and sisters. Is a whole totally different plateau. You have people will speak behind closed doors. You have people will speak under the shadow of darkness. You have people will speak. You will have people who will speak out into or for John public to hear. But when it comes time for them to, as they would call it, put your money where your mouth is, they run and hide. Here it is. We have our ancestors who did not do that. Who are we talking about? Marcus Mosiah Garvey, Nanny from the Maroon, Paul Bogle, Fred Hamilton, Maurice Bishop, Malcolm X, Carter G. Wilson, Harriet Tubman, Thomas Sankara, Somoral Mackell, Bookman Juti, Toussaint Louverture, Jack Dessalines. Now, family, these are just a few. These are just a few of my ancestors I choose to, you see, when you don't follow your own rules, you see, you don't follow the rules, you know. Everybody know that once you're on the ear, the phone's supposed to be off. You know, you don't follow your own rules. That's what happened. You know, so I'm gonna sanction myself. I'm gonna sanction myself, family. It's a rule, man. You know, disturb the flow of things. You see, don't follow the rules. All right, all right. You see, that's what happened. Let you lose a train of thought. Yes, these are some of the ancestors that I personally recognize on a day-to-day basis. I personally speak about. And again, it's just a handful. The truth about it, this show is basically 2 hours long. It would take more than just 2 hours. Look, I could just take 2 hours and call out names or make mention of our ancestors or make mention of people who not only speak but act or took action on behalf of the black masses, on behalf of humanity, of mankind. Not selfishly, but because they love the black race and the human race. They took the stand that they did. My brothers and sisters, what are we going to be speaking on today? What is the topic of the day? Huh? Look, this is what we're going to do. We're basically going to continue. We're going to continue from the conversation that we had the last time we were here, which was Thursday, right? Because it is important for we here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana, to understand the fundamental principle or to understand what it is that we are facing as a society. How is it that you can go to work day in, day out, acquire a piece of property to keep the elements from harming you and your family? That piece of property I'm speaking about is that piece of property you call your home, your casa, your palace. That piece of property, when you just meet your girl, the girl for the first time or the guy for the first time, and you want to try to impress, you take them and say, look, this is my crib, this is where I, you know what I mean? And that's where you take them. That's where you raise your family. That's where you go to after all days of work. And you go there day in, day out, and you spend years, right? You took out a mortgage. That mortgage may be anywhere from 10 to 30 years loan. 10, 15, 20, 30 years loan. And you work and you pay off that mortgage. Again, you maybe be paying that mortgage for all your life or for the better part of your life. 30 years is a hefty chunk out of one's life. Maybe for those of you who are fortunate enough, You have parents or grandparents or family members who have or acquired this property and pass this property down through generation to generation, right? Just so that just so to ensure that the family member or the offspring keep a roof over the head. Understand this concept, family, and that is why it's so important. For one to have a roof over their head so that you can protect yourself from the element, it's a human right, not a privilege. It's a birthright. It's a God-given right. You can go as far back into civilization and you will recognize the cavemen. The cavemen recognized that they needed shelter. They went and lived in these rocks, these mountains, these hills. The birds out there in the wilderness, in the wild, know that they need shelter. So they build these nests. It's natural to want to provide a roof, a shelter for yourself and your family. It's natural. It's not a privilege, and it could never be a privilege. And anyone who tell you it's a privilege, they are full of crap. They are full of crap. Having a roof over one's head, it's a God-given natural right. It's a birthright. Can never be a privilege. So here it is. You recognizing that fact, you recognizing that having a roof over your head, it's a God-given right. You will go out there, for some of you, work 2-3 jobs, more so if you're residing here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana. You go there and you acquire this property. This property, a private piece of property, not a public property. That piece of property we're talking about right here, family, is a piece of property that, again, the only business that's conducted inside this property is monkey business. That's it. That piece of property have nothing to do in commerce. Nothing. We are talking about your home. We are talking about, we are talking about that place that you send your kids them, you say, go to your room, go to your bed. You tell your wife or your husband, honey, come, let's go to bed. In my case, I tell my son, boy, go clean that kitchen. Go sweep that yard, go cut that grass. That piece of property, private property. The only contractual obligation that I had on that property was with the person who I acquire or purchase that piece of property from. When I acquire my piece of property, I didn't go to Erroll G. Williams, Mitch J. Landry, Latoya Cantrell, CivicSource.com. No! For what? I went to the seller We came to an agreement of the mind. He said, Mr. Brown, I want this. I said, I look at the property. I said, no, that's too much. He said, okay, how much you? I'll do this. And we went back and forth until we finally decided on a price. Okay? Then I give him what we agreed upon. It's the same thing with for most of you. You go there, take a loan from the bank, what they call a loan from the bank, right? Go into this contract for God knows how many years. Now, let me ask you. Sorry. Because when I was paying my mortgage, when I was paying on my piece of private property, there was times, no, look, you guys my family, you know what I mean? You guys my family, so I won't keep any secret from you guys. I love you guys. I won't keep any secret, and I'm not ashamed about my game, because the bottom line is at the end of the day, I provide for myself. But I'll share some of my struggle with my family and my friends. There were times that I found it difficult to come up with that monthly payment to pay for a mortgage. Difficult. And at no time did I ever see or heard, or at no time did CivicSource.com, Byron Barones and his associates, Erroll criminal imposter G. Williams, person called himself an Orleans Parish Tax Assessor, the City of New Orleans, that municipal corporation, either under the leadership of Ray Nagin, no, let's take Ray Nagin to this, criminal Mitch J. Landro, or Latoya Cantrell, at no time did any of them come and say, man, look, I know you have a difficult time paying your mortgage this month here. Holy Anglia business. They didn't. And they couldn't have neither, because they weren't aware of the agreement that I have with the seller. My business is my business. My business is my prerogative. I'm a goddamn grown man. I'm a man. I was born a man, and I'm a man. You follow me? At no point in time did no other individual or corporation or company or political subdivision, when I was acquiring my piece of property, initially at the table was two persons, myself, the buyer, and the seller. Follow me. And we came to an agreement of the mind. And we did that, or I pursued that, just like many of you out there do, because we know that we don't want to be living underneath the Claiborne Bridge like many New Orleans right now. A matter of fact, not only the Claiborne Bridge, my brothers and sisters, but every overpass in this territory You look under. There is homeless population there, homeless people there. Having a roof over your head, it's not a privilege and could not be a privilege. It's a substantive right. It's a God-given right. It's a human right. And I don't care. I don't give one iota. I care less who want to think otherwise. I'm telling you, having a roof over my head and my family head is a God-given right, and a right to which I will defend and defend to the end against anybody, individual, or group or organization. I don't care what you call yourself, government. I will defend and defend to the bitter end. Because I'm a man, I was born like that, and I have to provide not only for self, but for family. Not only for self, but for family. Now, understand this issue, my brothers and sisters. Understand this issue. You have a God-given right. And look, notice carefully, Notice what I'm not saying. Notice what I'm not saying. I'm not mentioning the Constitution. I'm not mentioning the Constitution. Mentioning any so-called constitutional right. I'm not doing that. When I came into this world, when my God gave me life, my God didn't tell me nothing about in the Constitution. No. No. My God said, go forth. Whatever you see in front of you is yours. You can have dominion over. The fishes of the sea, the birds in the sky. Go forth, my son, and make me proud. That's what my God tell me. Him said, I am your God, a jealous God, and you shall have no other God but me. That's it. Do unto others as you want others to do unto you. Go there and make me proud. That's what my God tell me. He didn't tell me nothing about no goddamn Constitution. His instructions to me was basic. His instruction to me was so basic. I tell my 2-year-old son and he can understand the concept. My God instruction to me is so basic. You don't need no college degree to interpret that. Understand the concept, family. We're talking about an inherent right, a birthright, a God-given right. I don't care about the next guy or the next woman out there. I will stand and fight and defend mine against the biggest army. I ain't scared of nobody, man. Now, let's go deeper. Let's dissect this issue some more. So you go out there, you acquire this piece of private property for the purpose of providing shelter for yourself and family. You went out there and you utilize your negotiation skills. Some of us fortunate enough to pay off for our piece of property. It's now free and clear. Owing an obligation or a debt to nobody. Listen to what I'm saying. Owing a debt to no man. Then here comes Mr. Big Brother. Here comes Mr. Big Bad Bully. Here comes the tax man. Here comes the tax man with his policy enforcers and his twist of the hands and his slick tongues and his greedy heart and mind. Telling you that, look, this piece of property over here, what you referring to as your house or your home or your casa or your palace or your crib, you have to pay me some money, extortion fee. You have to pay me some money for this piece of property over here. And I don't know about many of you, but when I ask for what reason or for what, because they say so. So it's actually circular fallacy. Here it is. Mr. Big Bad Bully, the tax man, in this case, this criminal imposter, Erroll G. Williams, no good Williams, is going to tell me that we owe them money and this so-called, because of this property tax issue. No, let's stick to our process. When you purchase that piece of property, again, that piece of property is for your personal purpose and benefit, right? That's your home. The taxing authority here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana, have no goddamn right, have no authority to be taxing that piece of property we call your home. Listen to me carefully. And I know this issue, a lot of people don't understand, or when it comes on to taxes, they think that it's so complicated, and it's not. The powers that be want you to think that when it comes on to taxes, it's only those guys who form a part of that private club we call a bar association can assist you or can tell you about how you as a grown-ass person need to do or what you need to do to rectify whatever taxing issue you have. Or those people over there they call CPA. So here it is, you're a grown-ass person, and because you're not a CPA or a licensed practicing attorney, you don't have a clue or you cannot understand how the taxing system works. And listen to me, family, if that is true, in and of itself supposed to render the taxing authority or the taxing law null and void of law. Listen to what I'm saying carefully. You dumbass bastard. Let me tell you something, man. Who you think you're talking to? Don't talk to Anthony Brown. I'm no dummy. My daddy never raised a goddamn dummy, I tell you that. If the average person don't understand or cannot comprehend the taxing system or the taxing structure, that in and of itself make that whole goddamn law null and void of law, so you can throw it in the trash can. If you have to go to an attorney or a CPA for that CPA or that attorney to tell you what you need to do as it relates to anything named taxes. And look how silly it is for those of you smart scholars out there. Do you recognize or do you understand the fact that if you have any taxing issue, and you utilize a third party, whether an attorney or a taxing professional, one name we call HB Black or whatever, taxing, whatever, and there's an error on your taxing document, or the IRS or whosoever that the taxing authority find an issue, do you know that you are the one who's going to be liable for that issue, not the third party person who you prepare it or angle your paperwork or tell you about it? No, because it's your name. Whatever the taxing issue is, it's your name that's on it. And for those of you who use that goddamn social security number, it's your name and your social security number that's on it. So they're going to contact you. So if they're going to contact you if there's an error, why is it that everybody is trying to direct you until, go talk to your taxing attorney, go talk to you? They ain't smarter than you. It's simple. This is the United States of America. The last time I checked, I need some water, man. The last time I checked, and family, that's the reason why I encourage my listening and the viewing audience to get a copy of the United States Constitution. Go and read Article 1, Section 2, Clause 3. Go and read Article 1, Section 8, Clause 1. It's simple. Whenever you see something get really complicated, you must ask yourself, why is this so goddamn complicated? Why would they make it so complicated? Why would they try to threaten or try to mislead you? Or why so complicated? It's simple, man. And for those of you who take my advice and go and read the United States Constitution as it relates to tax and still need more clarity, I would then further suggest that you go and read the Federalist Papers authored by the founding fathers of this document. You can read essay number, I think it's 30, 31, 32, 33, and 34. I think from 30 to I think 36. And you will see or hear or read verbatim what the founding fathers, what the authors of the Constitution, the way how they think and how they perceive the taxing issue or the taxing process here in the United States of America. They are the ones who author it or draft it, write it. And for it to pass before the Constitution was ratified, the United States Constitution, they did these group of essay so that the average person can understand what it is that will be in the Constitution, or when they make reference of certain terms, what exactly they were talking about. Not only that, let's take a step backward, or let's go not let's look on one event before that event. And again, let's look at the Declaration of Independence. And for those of you, again, I personally have a pocketbook, and I show this document to my YouTube and my Facebook family a lot, and I make reference to you, the listening audience, about this pocketbook document a lot. Go take a look at the Declaration of Independence. You will see that one of the charges that was levied against King George, you will see that one of the issue that the 13 colonies had at that time had to do with the had to do with taxes, the imposing of taxes on the people. You would see that. A matter of fact, it's a line item in that document for imposing taxes on us without our consent, for depriving us in many cases of the benefit of trial by jury. These are some of the things that men back in the 1700s was contemplating or was facing while we had the Revolutionary War. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Now, when I talk about taxes, people shiver in the goddamn shoes. Here it is. All you have to do is to look back on history, and you will recognize that the precedent is there. So, we have here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana, basically three group of people, or three entity, or three body, or three different entity who are robbing and creating tyranny on the people of New Orleans, Louisiana. And they are doing it, and these entities are, the first one is the Orleans Parish Tax Assessor Office under Erroll Criminal G. Imposter Williams. The next is CivicSource.com or Acorn Information System LLC /CivicSource.com. The CEO, Byron P. Burroughs. Next, the Municipal Corporation, City of New Orleans, under Mitch Criminal Landry and this present administration, Latoya Cantrell. Now, listen, family, let's break this down. Let's break this down. None of these three groups or entity or people that I make reference to a while ago have no legal authority to, one, be taxing the place you call your home, two, to be taking away that piece of property from you if you cannot pay that so-called property tax. Right? They have no legal nor constitutional authority to do that. But this is it. They don't care. They don't care. It is all about the money for them. It's all about the money. The more property they can tax, or the more property that criminal imposter Erroll G. Williams can put on his avalarium tax roll, is the stronger, bigger, and fatter his pension fund is or will be. He is benefiting financially off of the backs of the people here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana. Why there is no outcry from the CEO of the municipal corporation / the mayor, either the previous one or the present one? Why? Because they are receiving a financial gain from robbing the people of New Orleans likewise. What we have happening here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana, is one criminal covering up for another criminal. One hand washes the other. No check and balance. You talk about justice is blind? You talk about justice is blind? All of these people, all of these groups or people, right, are doing it for a financial gain with willful and malicious intent. The intent, there's a direct intent to put property on the avalarium tax roll when there is no legal or constitutional authority to do that, with the intent to deprive people or to take money from people so that it can pad their retirement fund. Let's deviate for a second. Let's deviate for a second. I made mention about Erroll criminal imposter G. Williams and Mitch No Good Landry / Latoya silent keeper, present mayor, wherever she want to be, / city of New Orleans. Let me show you something real quick. Erroll No Good criminal imposter Williams is a so-called elected official, and we have here a copy of his oath of office. Erroll G. Williams, if he was an honorable person or working on behalf of we the people, his authority you can find A matter of fact, let's rephrase that. Article 10 of the Louisiana Constitution deals with public officials and employees. Article 10 deals with public officials and employees. Erroll G. Williams is a public official. His authority and function and portfolio comes from the Louisiana Constitution. If you go to Article 10, Section 30, you will see Section 30 deals with oath of office. And this is what Erroll G. Williams, like any other elected official, is obligated to do. This is one of the prerequisites that he is required to do before commencing any duty in the office of Orleans Parish Tax Assessor. One hand on a Bible and one hand in the ear, and as is outlined in Article 10, Section 30 of the Louisiana Constitution, this is what he's supposed to say or affirm. It says, every elected official shall take the following oath or affirmation. I, blah, 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 in his case, Erroll G. Williams, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of this state, and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all the duties incumbent upon me as blah blah assessor according to the best of my ability, understanding, so help me God. Okay. Not only does Erroll G. Williams, that criminal imposter, have a Constitution requirement to take this oath of office, so did that no good criminal Mitch J. Landro. So did this present gatekeeper Latoya Cantrell. So all of these people, both Erroll G. Williams and the Municipal Corporation, City of New Orleans, presently under Latoya Cantrell, previously under Mitch J. Criminal Landro, have the authority to operate under the Constitution. By taking this oath of office, it gives them a fiduciary duty with we the people, or they now take on to themselves a fiduciary responsibility. They owe us. They have to work on our behalf. This is a contract. It's actually a contract. Everything that they do in office, you can find within the Constitution. It's outlined. How long they serve in office, the amount of pay that they get, things that they can and cannot do. It's in the Constitution. These people are what is known as elected official. In their case, so-called. We call them politician. No goddamn good. Okay? Now, that's Erroll G. Criminal Williams and Latoya. On the other hand, a matter of fact, let's stick with Latoya a little bit. Some more. Before we move on. When it comes to Latoya Cantrell, Mitch J. Landro, one in the same, when it comes to them, they are operating as the chief executive officer / mayor of the city, the municipal corporation, City of New Orleans. Okay? Now, their authority comes from a document which is known as the Home Rule Charter. Now, the City of New Orleans, the body politic, it's a creature from the Louisiana legislature. The Louisiana legislature created this entity, what we call local government, enact this entity and give them or authorize them to operate under a Home Rule Charter. And that Home Rule Charter again further lays out the creation of the what we call local government. And if you read through that charter, you will recognize the establishment, how it is created, and the departments. So the Home Rule Charter, you see, look, family, there's a concept that eludes a lot of you. I'm not gonna say me. There's a concept when it comes to the Home Rule Charter. There's a concept that eludes a lot of people. But we'll go into that concept another time. Let's stick in this part right now. Let's stick on this same wavelength right now. Latoya Cantrell, as the CEO of the body politic, City of New Orleans, further of the authority as the CEO to regulate, to appoint heads of department as you can find it or as it is laid out in the Home Rule Charter. Now again, what did I say earlier? The Home Rule Charter came from the Louisiana Constitution. It's a creature of the legislative body. So we are talking about elected official, people, government structure appointed by we the people to conduct our business. These people, all of them, Latoya Cantrell, Erroll G. Williams, the member of the city council, all of them went to the ballot, put their name up, came to we the people, asked us, beg us for a job. A lot of them couldn't make it out there in the private sector. A lot of them was dying for hunger. Couldn't scratch 2 pennies together to save them ass. Now they're driving big expensive vehicles, having security and bodyguards everywhere they go, rubbing shoulders and brushing shoulders with other elected officials, not only here in the territory of Louisiana, but all over the country. They couldn't save them ass. They couldn't operate out in the private sector. They came to us and they begged us. And we said, okay, we're going to give you a bribe, give you a chance. Let's see what you can do. They signed the contract. They signed the contract. So, here it is. They have the obligation to us. Okay. Now, let's talk about this third group. CivicSource.com. CivicSource and its members, Byron P. Barone. Hold on, let's see something. Let's check something, family. Let's check. Let's go to our information package real quick. Let's go to our CivicSource.com have a parent company. The parent company is Acorn Information System LLC. Let me say that again. LLC. Let me say it again. LLC. A limited liability corporation doing business for profit. The members that form that LLC have nothing to do with government. They didn't come to we the people and ask us for a job. They didn't. They didn't. They have no fiduciary duty to we the people. They are trying to make money or generate revenue in whatever way they can. But they choose to conduct themselves in a criminal manner, in a criminal form. They choose to conduct themselves by bribing corrupted politicians to rob the people of New Orleans, Louisiana. A matter of fact, like I was informed by one of our viewers, the CEO of CivicSource, Byron P. Burroughs, is also a member of that private club, the Louisiana Bar Association. Now, look, we can just name attorneys after attorneys who involved in politics, who the ass is either in jail, just came out of jail, under indictment, or people looking at them real shady. Here is Byron P. Burroughs, as I was so informed by one of my informed listeners or viewers, that he was caught cheating on his guardian test, his bar test the first time. So right off the bat, you know that this guy's a goddamn crook. He ain't an honest person. You want to be an attorney so bad. You want to be a member of the Bar Association so bad. You look a white. Look, you don't go study to make yourself worthy. No, you want cheat on your exam so you can call yourself an attorney. So here it is, you have Byron P. Barone, William Sassaman, and a few more. Byron the Nose, Michael Cushman. These people are all members of CivicSource.com. These people, this company, this LLC, CivicSource, have no goddamn business, no business, no authority to operate under the Louisiana Constitution. None. These people have no authority to operate under the Louisiana Constitution. CivicSource, family, friends, enemies, is not a governmental agency. CivicSource is not a governmental agency, family. CivicSource got its authority through the Secretary of State. CivicSource gets its authority through its article of incorporation from the Secretary of State. It's a private corporation. It's a LLC doing business for profit. Not one of these members, that form a part of CivicSource was on the ballot. Not one of them came to we the people and ask us for a job. We didn't appoint, elect none of these people to public office. They have no fiduciary duty to us. Likewise, we care less about them. We cannot point to no article, section in the Constitution and say, okay, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Again, this CivicSource is not a governmental entity. CivicSource falls neither underneath the executive branch of government, the judicial branch of government, nor the legislative branch of government. Not one branch of government here in the territory of Louisiana can claim CivicSource to be a part of it. Not one. No. Individually, these individual corrupted politicians, yeah, they will, because the CEO, Byron Barone, bribed so much of them, or so much of them is in his pocket, or he is in their pocket, however you want to put it. But no single branch or collective branch here in the territory of Louisiana can claim CivicSource as being a part of government. We have three branches of government, family. We have the legislative branch, the executive branch, and the judicial branch. CivicSource is a for-profit corporation of no authority. So check this out. How is it that CivicSource is engaged in the business of auctioning delinquent property taxes? Look, for a second, listen to me, family, for a second. Let's put aside the fact that, let's not talk about whether or not the process is fair. For 1 minute, let's put it aside. Let's speak on the issue of the function of CivicSource. We are not, just for a moment, let's put aside the fact that the whole process leading up to the point of auction. Let's put away that process for a while. The question is, how is it? Because there are properties, now listen to me carefully, there are properties that should be on the tax roll, the avalarum tax roll. There are certain properties that this criminal imposter have the authority to put on the New Orleans avalarum tax roll. So there are certain properties, bear that in mind. And there are certain times when the owners of those property may fall behind and paying property tax. Hence, a portion of that property or a portion of that property must be sold so that they can redeem that tax. How is it, or where is the authority for CivicSource.com Acorn Information System? Where did that authority come from for CivicSource to engage in that activity that falls under Article 7 of the Louisiana Constitution? Let me ask the question again, just in case I wasn't clear enough or people didn't understand what I'm saying. Where is the authority? Look, I am the first person to acknowledge that I'm not a Rhodes Scholar by their standards. I'm the first person to acknowledge that I'm not Mr. Know-it-all, or I don't have the answers to all the questions. A matter of fact, I was created by my God, and I have a God-given right to be ignorant about certain things, like everybody else. So I'm asking a question, because maybe I'm ignorant about the question that I'm posing right now. Maybe I could be ignorant. And if I'm ignorant, look, family, let me talk to you a little bit. If I'm ignorant, I'm asking my listening audience and my viewing audience, if I'm ignorant of this fact, don't let your brother continue talking crap and you know that what I'm speaking is crap. No. Pick up the phone, the telephone number, and look, if your phone is out and you can't afford a phone call, or you want to borrow somebody's phone to call, I'll pay the bill for you. Don't worry about it. Call me. Because if you're going to call me and correct me, look, I'll pay the bill, man. Don't worry about it. The number is 504-303-8922. Call me. Or you can hit me up live on the Facebook at Anthony Brown for Assessor 2017. The question is, how or where is the authority? How and where and when, how did CivicSource get the authority to be operating, to be conducting business under Article 7 of the Louisiana Constitution? Was I clear? Was the question clear enough? How did this LLC, this for-profit corporation, how did they get the authority or have the authority to be actioning property that is regulated under the Louisiana Constitution, more so Article 7, Section 25? Oh, no, again, I'm asking somebody to please educate me or to inform me, because I could be wrong. I could be missing something. You know, and if I'm missing something, I'm looking for someone to assist me or to inform me, to set me straight, to say, well, okay, Anthony, look, this is what happened. Blah, 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 blah. You feel what I'm saying? No. The only way or the reason why CivicSource is operating under the authority of the Louisiana Constitution is because of criminals, because of corrupted politicians here in the territory of New Orleans, like Erroll G. Lanjo, Mitch J. Lanjo, so-called Judge Etlin Sims Julian, Division N, Orleans Parish Civil District Court, members of the New Orleans City Council, both present and past, because of Lataya Cantrell too. That's the reason why, family. Not only them, many other more. Many other more. Huh? You want me to tell you some more? I'll tell you some more. You want me to tell you some more? Let me tell you some more. Because if you all think that I'm only speaking about these few criminals. And it's only these few criminals why CivicSource is still here. Let me tell you something. The CEO, the Chief Executive Officer of CivicSource, paid a lot of money, paid out a lot of money in 2014 and 2013 to these criminal politicians here in the territory of Louisiana. Some of the people, let me tell you some more people, our organization, our group. The executive director of the Louisiana Municipal Corporation. Okay, the Louisiana Municipal Corporation. That's the Louisiana Municipal Association. That's one other group or individuals that Byron P. Burroughs, the CEO of Acorn Information System LLC / CivicSource, bribed. He also bribed let me see, the relationship between Acorn and the Louisiana Municipal Association is close. Acorn has a deal that provide income for a for-profit subsidiary. Let's see. The Sheriff Department, the Louisiana Sheriff Association as well. Look. There's certain. They went around Louisiana and they had us to bribe some people individually and collectively. CivicSource had us to do that. And I think still doing it right now today. They went around the territory of Louisiana. This criminal enterprise. That's what they are. That's what CivicSource is. CivicSource is a criminal enterprise. Now, understand the concept, family. We have nothing against a LLC. Full disclosure. I conduct business myself under LLC. I participate in the capitalistic system. I have no issue or problem about the capitalistic system. I like the fact that it is merit-based. I have nothing about that. And you can conduct business or structure your business and go there and do it. There's no problem. I have no problem with a LLC doing business for profit out there engaging in the capitalistic system. I have no problem about that. What I have a problem with is with this criminal enterprise, CivicSource, and its CEO, this cheating bastard, Byron P. Burroughs. Look, I don't know about this guy. We got people here who inform us that, look, the very first time they caught him cheating was on his bar exam. He wanted to be an attorney, a member of that private club so bad, he didn't burn the late night candle. No, he decided to cheat. Now he's cheating on a bigger level right now. He's scamming, is cheating on a more bigger, broader plateau. How can CivicSource again operate here or continues to operate here? Let me tell you. If it wasn't for these criminal in office, if it wasn't for these so-called elected officials, if it wasn't for Erroll criminal G. Imposter Williams, the person who is calling himself the Orleans Parish Tax Assessor, CivicSource wouldn't be operating here. If it wasn't for Mitch No Good Lanjo, that clown who going all over America right now telling people about how look, as the mayor of New Orleans, I recognize that these statue poses, blah, blah, blah. taking credit for something that he didn't do or initiated, because he have his eyes on 2020 and the White House. Your black ass, Mitch Lange, ain't going to the White House. Yes, I say Mitch Lange, black ass. And for those, let me tell you something. Mitch Lange and Barack Obama. Look, Mitch Lange and Barack Hussein Obama have the same conflict. They utilize their ethnic background to elevate themselves into public office. They switch it up and down when it suits them. Not for the public good, but for their good. For a financial, political, and social gain. That's what they do. If it wasn't for them legitimizing CivicSource or giving CivicSource that platform, right? CivicSource wouldn't be here. Look, if we had honest elected officials, this is the problem, family. If we had honest elected officials here in Louisiana, CivicSource wouldn't be here in Louisiana. If we didn't have money-hungry individuals, CivicSource wouldn't be here in Louisiana. If we didn't have bribe-taking politicians, CivicSource wouldn't be here in Louisiana. Every single elected official that I spoke to, look, I don't want to hear crap about Lataya Cantrell. I don't want to hear crap about Lataya Cantrell. She ain't innocent of nothing. I was on the ballot with Lataya Cantrell. I was out there on the campaign trail with Lataya Cantrell. Lataya Cantrell know Anthony Brown and know what I'm all about. She got the memo. She sit on the New Orleans City Council for the 2 terms that Mitch Lange was the mayor. Her grace period done. Grace period for what? We contacted her office, her chief of staff, and they refused to acknowledge us or to return the calls. If it wasn't for greedy, corrupted politicians, CivicSource, Acorn Information System LLC, Byron Criminal P. Burroughs wouldn't be operating here, and more people would have retained what is rightfully theirs, their home. We wouldn't have so much people living out on the streets. We wouldn't have so much investors from outside of the United States and outside of Louisiana coming here and grabbing property all over the 9th Ward, all over New Orleans East, all over the 7th Ward. We wouldn't have that. All over Algiers, we wouldn't have that. But we have criminals in office. Here it is. This criminal, Erroll G. Williams, is building a mansion, bragging to people about his mansion and his multi-car garage, and at the same time kicking people out of the goddamn houses. So for him, owning a piece of property, it's a right, and for everyone else, it's a privilege. Huh? Family? And you'd think that Anthony Brown gonna sit his black ass down and keep quiet when the president is already there? When in the mid-1700s, the founding fathers of the United States tell King George, look, get a copy of the Declaration yourself and you read it, for imposing taxes on us without consent, without our consent. They went to war. What you believe the Revolutionary War was all about? What you believe it was all about? Byron P. Burroughs bribe Louisiana politicians. Mitch J. Landry was one of them. Mitch Landry got $10,000. Now, how they do it? They break. Look, I'm not saying that it was only $10,000 that criminal bastard Mitch Landry got, but it's only $10,000 that we can verify. Again, the name of this show is The Proven Truth, for those of you who tend to forget. The name of this program is The Proven Truth. And again, full disclosure, if anyone listening to us or viewing us think, believe, or know for a fact that the statement that we are making, that anything that we say on the show, on this program, either today, yesterday, last month, last week, last year, if you can prove that anything that we are saying is factually false, I implore you, please, utilize this platform. Utilize this platform to correct us. Utilize this platform to correct us. Don't wait till after the show, nor you send me an email, or do it. Call us. Come on as a guest and prove to us that what we are saying is factually false. Because again, look, I got a God-given right. I have a God-given right to make mistake. My God didn't create me perfect. I have a God-given right, and I'm claiming my God-given right to make mistakes. So maybe, who knows, maybe I'm making a mistake or something right here. Huh? And if you can prove that what I've been saying is factually false, I'll be the first person to apologize to whosoever I was referring to, right? And if it so needs, I will pay restitution. Give me a figure, and I'll pay restitution. I guarantee you, you will never cash that check. I guarantee you, you'll never cash that check. Because I guarantee you, you cannot prove that what I'm saying right here, right now, is false. I've been saying this now for some time. I've been saying this for some time. And when I went in front of this this criminal right here and tell her to her face, call her, I said, look, I don't trust you. When I told her that I don't have no trust, no confidence in her inside our courtroom, our associates them behind me, other members of our bar association, everybody burst out laughing. Everybody went, what did he say? What did he say? And you can see the expression on her face. And I told her, look, family, let me tell you something, man. I'm one person who, when it comes to certain issue, I fear no man. I fear no man. Look, what else can I say? I fear no man, no woman. Anything what another person can do, another individual can do, I can do it too, and even better. All I have to do is apply myself, and I can do it. A brain surgeon, I can do that. Fly up aircraft at Mach 2, I can do that. Teach, I can do. I don't like doing it, but I can do it. Why should I fear another man when I look at him and his feet is, look at his silhouette, I see 2 eyes, 2 nose, 2 eyes, 2 and 2 legs, 2 ears, 1 mouth, 1 nose, just like myself. Why should I fear them? More so, why should I fear a politician? You know, look, I can't get over this. I really just can't understand when people tell me, well, how can you fear politicians? How can you fear someone who come to you every 4, 6 or 10 years and beg you to put them in public office? How can you fear that person? How can you fear somebody who must abide by the rule of law or the Constitution, even if they don't do it? Because in most cases they don't. We know that. We know here in the territory of Louisiana, the so-called Chief Justice, Bernadette Johnson, she is the highest ranking official when it comes to the judicial branch. And she don't give one red ass about the Louisiana Constitution. We know that. However, despite that, how is it possible for you, people of New Orleans, to fear politicians? Criminal because, look, for my brothers and sisters, listen to us here in America who don't live in Louisiana. Listen to me carefully. When I walk the streets of New Orleans, right? When I walk the streets of New Orleans, all over New Orleans, people tell me that they are scared of politicians, or certain politicians. And one of the reasons why they are scared is because they are saying what these politicians can do. They are scared of repercussions from these politicians. And I'm saying to myself, how can you honestly stand in front of me as a man or a woman, as one of the bosses, one of the electorates, and scare of politicians? No, they are scared of politicians because they fear the negative reaction or the negative repercussion that may come back at them. Because these politicians here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana, Cedric Richmond, John Bell Edwards, look, just about all of them, maybe with the exception of few, maybe, they act with impunity. They rule with iron fists. And in some cases, they pass down orders like the Guardian Mafia so that other people may execute those orders in whichever way they so choose or desire. Now, I'm no better than nobody else. I'm no bigger or better than nobody else. But let me tell you something. I'm not afraid of a fight. I'm one person who is not afraid of a fight. And fight I will. I cannot be afraid or scared of somebody who I know for a fact is committing a crime. I can. We have people here who is fully aware of certain activity by certain elected officials. But because they are so infatuated, because they want to be in that clique, in that group, they keep them all quiet. Just because they want to call up on that politician, or they want people to think that they have influence. That's how we breed corruption, man. That's how we breed corruption. Because here it is, when you're supposed to be out there speaking on the truth or calling out cronyism, you're going to be one side. You're going to be one side taking or casting a blind eye to tyranny. You can imagine if any of these ancestors, if Marcus Mosiah Garvey, Malcolm X, Maurice Bishop, Harriet Tubman, Paul Bogle, Fred Hamilton, Thomas Sankara, Bookman Duty, Jack Dessalines, if any of these ancestors had cast a blind eye on what was going on in their time, where would we be today? How would we be looking today? You see, I'm talking about my brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters, loved ones, family. I refuse from sitting down. I refuse from being quiet. I refuse from casting a blind eye. I refuse from acting dumb. I refuse from smiling or shaking or being around corrupted elected officials. I refuse. I will continue to do what is required of me as one of the bosses, as an electorate, as one of the conscious few. I will keep this issue on the forefront for as long as my God give me breath in my body. This issue will continue to burn a flame. Will. As long as we got that criminal enterprise, CivicSource, here in Louisiana operating, and as long as we have corrupted politicians endorsing them or backing them or covering up for them, I will continue to keep the fire burning. Keep it ablaze. They want to quiet Anthony Brown. I give them an out. They want me to shut my black ass up. I give them an out. I give them an out. I've been give them an out. Kick CivicSource outside of Louisiana. Return to the people what is rightfully theirs. Return to the people of New Orleans, Louisiana, what is rightfully theirs. Start to apply by the rule of law, by the Constitution. Kick CivicSource out. Stop doing business with CivicSource.com. Then you'll get rid of Anthony Brown off your back. On that issue. Hey, family, look. There's so much issue out there, man. There's so much issue out there right now that we can speak on. A lot of issue we can speak on. And there's a lot of we have a lot of champions out there right now, you know, working or doing stuff. And it's just a whole lot. We have a whole lot going on out there right now, family. A whole lot of issue that I could also be a part of. I have friends out there right now on the forefront fighting some issue. You know, we're talking about people like my dear friend Kim Ford, Tracy Riley, Nooneman Batiste. We got these people out there right now, family, fighting on certain issues. And, you know, we have to keep you know, the struggle. We have to keep the struggle going, and we ain't gonna stop. You know something? Let's do this real quick with the next couple of minutes we have right here. Let's see if we can call an associate of mine, Kim, and see what's burning out there today. I know they're doing some type of protest. Let's see if she's gonna answer her phone and see what's going on. If we can do a quick interview. She should answer her phone.
Hello?
Good afternoon, Kim.
Yeah?
How are you doing, Kim? This is Anthony Brown.
Wait, I'm sorry, who is it?
This is Anthony Brown.
Hey, Anthony Brown. What's up, bro? Yeah, man. I saw you on the radio the other day.
Hold on, Kim. Before you go any further, look, you're actually on the radio right now. Just let me give you a call real quick with the last 5 minutes that we have, because I was telling the audience about, you know what I mean, just briefly telling them about the fight that you're fighting out here.
Wait, hold on. I can't hear you.
Yeah.
I got to take this off the speaker.
Yeah, do that.
I can't hear you.
All right.
Okay, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I was saying that you're live on the air, and I just want to reach out to you for the last 5 minutes that we have left on the show, just to get a feedback, just to get a feedback from you and actually what's going on out there right now. I know you're involved with a lot of, community activist stuff. You know what I mean? With Canizera, and then with this thing out there, you guys doing on St. Bernard right now. So, if for real quick, Kim, if you can just introduce yourself to the listening audience and tell them briefly, what's on the table right now.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right now, hi, this is Kim Ford. You want me to introduce myself?
Yes. Introduce yourself and tell them what's going on.
Okay. Hi, everybody. This is Kim Ford, and I am a community activist. And right now, we are working on a campaign to recall our district attorney, Leon Canizera. And we're going to be down in front of the courthouse on Tulane and Broad first thing Monday morning at 9 a.m. to collect signatures to get him to fire him from his job, because he has done such a bad job as a district attorney. We're saying enough is enough. We had so much injustice on Tulane and Broad. We want to put an end to that by recalling our district attorney, Leon Canizera. So you can come out Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 1 o'clock. We're going to be in front of Tulane and Broad. We also are asking the city to close down Manchu Restaurant, where a young man was killed on last week because he stole a beer. And so we're concerned because we don't want grocery stores to become judge, jury, and executioner when they feel like somebody has wronged them, to knife them down on the street. So we're saying this store needs to go out of business, but they've had so much crime, so many failed inspections by the state of Louisiana. They should have been closed a long time ago, Anthony. You know.
Right.
I don't know why we tolerate this in the community. We take so much bad stuff from businesses, and then some businesses, black-owned businesses in particular, they better not sneeze wrong. Are they going to shut them down and put them out of business? Here, this store continuously does bad behavior, and they get no repercussions. So the community is coming together to boycott in front of their store and stop people from spending a nickel inside of that store, and we're asking the city of New Orleans to shut them down.
Okay.
And that's going on every day until that happens. But I also want to see us have a action in council chambers at the next city council meeting. I'm hoping that we can pull some folks together to come and stand with us in council chambers and say that the city of New Orleans needs to protect the citizens. When we have businesses that operate that's harming the community, the city has got to have the jurisdiction to shut them down. And they're just not using it. That's all that is right now. So we're asking them to do that as well, Anthony.
Okay. That business that you're talking about, Kim, that the owner, what ethnic background is that person?
You said what now? What is the what?
The owner for that business you're speaking about. The ethnic background. What's the ethnic background for the
I guess they're Vietnamese Americans. It looks like they're Vietnamese Americans, but it's really at this point, Andy, I really don't know. But I can tell you that regardless, we can't have that kind of behavior from no business owner.
Right.
Where they're going to think because somebody wronged them that it's okay for them to have that person to be dead and to participate in that person's death.
Right.
You know, we deserve better than that as a society. Right. You know, we can't have, and then they called the police for us when we were boycotting in front of the store. They called the police for us for that, but that's our right as citizens of these United States. We can have a peaceful protest. Yes. But when they should have called the police for this man stealing out the store, they participated in this man dying.
Right.
They ran behind him and tried to hunt him down their own self. They didn't even consider calling the police for that. You know, so I don't understand how we can tolerate that as a community. We have got to demand better from our leadership. You know. And there's just been so many things going on, so many injustices going on across the community, not only in Orleans Parish, but across the state of Louisiana, which is one of the most incarcerated places in the whole world.
Right.
You know, and they're flip-flopping between number one and number two. But I think that's pretty bad anywhere in the top. We're top in the real bad areas here in Louisiana. And we're the lowest in the good areas. The bad areas, we number 1 and 2. The good areas, we the worst 1 and 2.
Man, look.
So we got to start getting better, you know.
My sister, look, you're preaching to the choir, Kim. Look, I had us to reach out to you on the Saturday. I had us to reach out to you, my sister, just to touch base because, you know what I mean, look, even though you're not here in the studio, man, look, I have to talk about you guys out there on the forefront every single day. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to reach out to you. Look. The time is against us right now. The clock is saying 6 o'clock. Look, just keep strong, my sister, and keep on doing what you do, man. And I'll meet you on the forefront, all right?
All right, and I hope to see you on Monday morning down there on Tulane and Broad.
Love
if
it.
you could come out, okay?
All right, girl. I'll see you. All right.
All right, brother. Nice talking to you. Thanks for thinking of us, yeah?
Much love,
Thank
my
you
sister.
for all you do, too, Andy. Much love, brother. Bye.
Bye. All right, family. That's it. The clock is 6 o'clock on the show and the wall. And that's it for us, family. Look, until next time, join us here Monday, same time, same place. This is your brother Anthony Brown saying peace, much love.